Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to RGH Livestream, Wednesday, 22nd of December, 2021. So, a couple of days, early Christmas. All getting excited, so welcome. Tonight is all about how to become a RGH motorbike instructor. Or how to become an instructor. But tonight is all about how to become a RGH motorbike instructor. It's going to be a good one, so do stay tuned. We want the chat room to be too hot to handle, and let's get it spread out there, get more people involved tonight. It's going to be a good one. Special guests are joining us, Sophie and Graham. Graham with us over 10 years, Sophie 6 months, so different ends of the training process. So it's going to be a good evening. So do stay tuned. They will be joining us shortly. Before that, so as normal, big congratulations to Team RGH this week. Many tests passed. Introducing people on tasters, introducing people on CBTs, Module 1 tests, Module 2 tests, and indeed today alone 6 passes, a mixture of Mod 1 and Mod 2. So most days, we've got 10 tests tomorrow, I think. Most days we're up to sort of 10 tests. So very good, big well done to everybody that has achieved their goals today or this week. And also again, thanks to those that are commenting, those that are messaging, that the YouTube channel is helping them up and down the country. The videos, the live streams are helping them achieve their goals. So keep those comments coming through, keep those positive vibes coming through. It really does help us continue to put the time into the YouTube channel. So it is much appreciated, and it's humbling to know that the channel and all the work we put in does help people out. So yes, welcome. Live stream all about becoming a RGH motorbike instructor. And as mentioned, we will be welcoming Graham and Sophie onto the live stream. They should be joining us in the next 10 minutes, so do stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. And we want that chat room too hot to handle. Cheers, Stephen. Thank you very much. One of my early DAS trainees, 2004. Robbie, passed yesterday with 0 faults. Thanks for your support. I've left your Google review. Manchester, fantastic, Robbie. Good man. A first time pass doesn't get much better than that. So, yeah. As Rob has just mentioned, so I'm not going to go on about it too much tonight, but before we get cracking and before we get Sophie and Graham in, anybody up and down the country that the channel is benefiting them, you can indirectly pay us back by leaving a Google review. So Robbie and Dave Smith, and they have left Google reviews. So Stephen Clements, get that Google review. It really does help for those viewers that are watching from up and down the country. We are only a small business, and most of our business comes from recommendations, and social media is so powerful now. And yeah, Google reviews. We've got, I think I worked out, we've got about 1,250 Google reviews across the 3 sites. So it is fantastic. So yeah, if you're going to leave a Google review, then don't forget to mention the one and only Robert. Good evening, Sophie. So Sophie is there in the chat room, and Sophie will be joining us shortly in the guest room, along with the Chief Graham, talking all about instructor training. So yeah, I mean, we're going to do a bit of it's a bit different today as well, because I've done a couple of live streams where I've invited one guest. But tonight's going to be the first again for RJH where I invite 2 guests. So which will fit in quite nicely with the topic of becoming an instructor, because I've got 20 years teaching experience. Graham's got 10 years teaching experience, and then Sophie's just starting out and she's got 6 months teaching experience. So there's a lot of experience there that we want to pass on to anybody that is interested in becoming a motorbike instructor, whether that be now or whether that will be in the future. So it really does appeal to many people, because many people will get into instructor training by getting their bike license. They will get their bike license first, and then come back a little bit later on, because you've got to start somewhere. So that is tonight's topic. It's going to be a good one. Allowed a couple of hours, so allowing a couple of hours to see how we go. So good evening. Yeah, so Graham's already joined us. He's in the green room. So good evening, Graham. Nobody can hear you at the moment, but you should be able to hear me. Yeah, so Graham's there, ready and waiting in the green room. Yeah, it has been very, very cold, Sophie. The temperature certainly has dropped. Good evening, Graham. Yeah, Graham, you're in the guest room and or in the green room, and you need to mute. Yeah, take your mute off. So we'll be encouraging Graham to come in a moment. Graham, just patiently waiting in the green room. Give us a wave, Graham. Yeah, there he is. I'll let you in a moment. So are we all ready for our first guest to join us? Are we all ready for Graham to join us? Let's see how we can go. Yeah, you need to.
Good evening.
There he is. Try that, Graham.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Graham. How are we?
So, can you hear me now?
Can certainly hear you. Welcome to the channel, Graham.
Pleasure being here.
So, should we give Graham a round of applause? Yeah? It's all new for us, so.
Good results today, Rob.
Yeah, I was just telling the good evening, Sophie. We'll be with you in one moment. So we've got a third guest. Just try and move your camera over a bit, Graham, to get you central into because it's going to be a tight fit tonight. There's going to be 3 of us. That's a bit better. It was a good result, and I've passed on my congratulations to you all. 6 out of 6 out of Eccles today. So so welcome to Graham, the live stream, talking all about becoming a motorbike instructor, RJH motorbike instructor. And Sophie is waiting patiently in the green room. So are we ready to welcome Sophie? Let me make sure I can do this right. Welcome, Sophie.
Hello. Am I on?
Good evening. You're on.
Good. I just realised I haven't got my earphones in tonight. I hope the sound is okay.
Can absolutely hear you fine. And can I see Bean there?
Yes. She's got an octopus.
Say, we've got 4 people on the live stream. We've not got 3 people on the live stream. We've got 4 people on the live stream.
Yep.
So anyway, welcome, Sophie. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we'll have to bear with me because this is new. We've now got 3 people on a live stream. And my understanding is we could actually have a 4th person as well, which is crazy. Anyway, crazy, isn't it? So how's Sophie? Good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
A good day today.
Yep. Yeah, it was nice morning, nice ride over to Eccles.
No pupil.
No show.
Easy day then.
Yep, very easy.
Day. Okay, so let's get started then. So we're 12 minutes already. So basically, guys, I've sort of done an introduction as to what the live stream is all about, and I've sort of introduced it in the classic RJH style that we do. And then I thought what we'd do is just introduce ourselves and a little bit background about ourselves. And then I've given you a list of questions that I'm sort of going to put towards you. Just let's get it opened up. Let's see how it goes. Keep an eye on the chat room because there's going to be questions coming through. Lots of questions. I want that chat room to be so hot to handle. Should we have a look at the chat room before we start? Because there's quite a bit in there. Yeah.
I can't see the chat room.
Can you not see it?
I can't see the chat room tonight.
Graham?
Robbie? Yeah, I can see that, Rob E. Nice welcoming people. Yeah, KK Adventures.
Is that on the same screen as your live? Yeah. So you've got it on yours. You've not got yours, Sophie?
Well, I'm not on the laptop tonight, so you might have better camera, but...
Yes, the camera is better. Is that your phone?
It's the phone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we can read them out anyway. So the first one, since you guys have come on, so you've had a few comments there, Sophie. KK Adventures has passed his mod 2 with 3 minors a few weeks ago. Videos helped. Fantastic, KK Adventures. If you've not left a Google review, make sure that Google review goes on there and mention Robert's name if you don't mind.
And Sophie.
And G.
Graham, you don't need any. Graham's have you seen it, Sophie? He's hijacked it. He's got one person doing about 8 reviews.
He was cheating though, wasn't he? Charlie had to change the rules. I thought that was you, Rob, but it was G.
Look, I took the blame. I took the blame.
Why do you think I'm Google review champion?
I took the blame to save anybody else getting their wrists slapped. Robbie. Hiya, Sophie. Had a fun weekend doing my Mod 1 training. Heated grips were an eye-opener. KK Adventures got my new spanking good looking CB500X 2022. Nice. Nice bike, even though past license still watch RJ. Fantastic. Stay tuned. Tell Sophie to click on live chat.
Where's that?
Where is that? Nearsighted from the far side.
Where is it? Does mute, hang up, light or dark?
No, it should
full
be
screen. Oh, I don't know how to get a smaller picture of myself now. All I can see is me.
Can you see the three of us, Graham?
No.
You can just see
you.
You can just see me.
You and myself.
You can't see Sophie.
No.
Can you not? Anyway, well, I can see Sophie. I'm in the middle. Sophie's on my left. You're on my right. Okay. Are you still there, Sophie? Yeah.
I'm still there, but I can't see any of you now. I've pressed buttons. I only need to hear you anyway.
But could you see Graham and myself before?
No, just I could only see you, Rob.
Only see you. So Graham's on my side and you're on my side. So, I mean, I've got three screens here. So I've got what I'm looking at here, but I've also got the live stream as you would see it on another one. But anyway.
Yeah, I could probably. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Come out of that. Go on to that. Three screens here, so I've got what I'm looking at here, but I've also got the live stream as you would see it on another one. But anyway.
I can see you now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Got it back now.
I'm back in the room.
Got it on his phone. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so let's just remind everybody what the live stream is about, and that is how to become an RJH motorbike instructor. That's what I've headed it as. Live with myself, Graham, Sophie, and answer any questions as they come along. But so I'm Robert. Anyway, you can see my name's down there below. And I have been teaching motorbikes since 2002. And been teaching since then. I enrolled on a 10-day instructor training course with a company in Shrewsbury. I won't mention the name. I had a very, very poor experience and I failed my exams first time. And long story short, I wasn't given any support from the company to go and resit it and pass. So I had to go and look elsewhere. Internet, social media wasn't like it is now, so it was a bit of an eye opener anyway. But got fully qualified, and I've been teaching since 2002. So that's pretty much me. Graham?
Okay, so 2011, so that's 10 years ago, I came to RJH, met Rob for the first time, and it was on from there. I just did all my licence. I went away for 3 years because that's what you've got to do, and I actually then enrolled on the instructor's course. But whilst I was away for 3 years, I went and did all my advanced stuff, become an advanced tutor, teaching advanced as well. And then I came back to RJH and enrolled on their instructor course. Now, fantastic. I did it over a 10-day period, and it was a great journey. I was working, I was on full-time employment, I was doing CBTs after I'd done the 10-day course, on doing CBTs and a down train badge, earning a bit of cash,
Good stuff.
part-time.
Good stuff. Okay, well done. And we'll go into more detail about your journey and so on a bit more throughout. Okay. Okay, Sophie.
Okay, so in May, I think I inquired on your website, and Charlie rang me. He's pretty quick, and very efficient. And he said, "Come in, have a chat." So I came in and met Sylvia and Charlie. A couple of days later, I'd signed up to do the course. I was going to go on to tell you how I was told it's intense and so on. But we'll go on to that.
A lot more detail. You've got to. I was going to say to you, but I don't want to offend that little person behind you. I was going to say to you that Charlie's middle name is When you said he was very quick and efficient, his middle name is Rockweiler. But I don't want to offend that little person behind you, so just cover up his ears, because if he hears the word Rockweiler, he might go a bit wild. He's changed his look now already.
Yeah, shucks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so so what we've got is three. So you've got somebody here that's got 20 years instructing experience. You've got somebody here that's got 10 years instructing experience, and then somebody here that's got 6 months instructing experience. But one thing we've all got in common before that is our interested in bikes. And made no secret, next year I'll be 50 years. I first sat on two wheels and went around on motorbikes. Graham had a similar experience as a young man, riding, whatever he could get his hands on, sort of thing. And Sophie, I mean, you're quite amazing, because you don't even look, when you say you've been riding bikes for how long was it?
23 years.
23, and she don't even look bloody 23. But anyway, I get that all the time with me. They say, "Oh, you don't look 50," and I've been riding bike. So I know how you feel, Sophie. I know how you feel. Should we start off with then what we know about the qualification process? So if I start off with that we're governed by the DVSA, which is the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. We don't work for them, but they're the ones that we're governed by. What are the levels then? What have we got level wise? So, where are you at, Sophie, with the process?
I am a down-trained CBT instructor.
So Sophie is a down-trained CBT instructor. That's the entry level. So Sophie's right at the beginning of her journey. So what does that enable you to do, Sophie?
I can do CBTs with up to 3 students, trainees, and I can take them out on the road. I can do the full CBT. I just can't instruct instructors.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
train instructor.
You can teach CBTs and sign people off for CBTs with the training body, the ATB, because we're an ATB that, if you like, you've got your authority to teach for us. But you could teach 4 CBTs in Eccles or in Northwich, but in Wigan, which is where you've done a bit more recently, you can only do 3. But yeah, and you can sign them off. So it is that real entry level of the journey of becoming an instructor. But the beauty with your entry level is that you can learn the trade whilst you're being paid, isn't it? That's the beauty of it. So what's the next step up then, Graham?
Well, once after you've done that entry level on the down train CBT, you can then go to the DVSA for a 2-day CBT assessment. Now, originally it was down in Cardington, in Luton, but they've just recently, over the last couple of months, moved it up to Chadderton, which is not far from Manchester. So they've gone sort of more middle of the country. But then once you go over then to do this 2-day assessment, and quite honest with you, if you're not ready for it, you know, they don't just give it you. It's you've got to work for it.
Yeah.
And it then gives you the chance then to even teach down-trained CBT instructors.
Yeah. So that's
help them through it.
Yeah, that's an important thing to recognise. And so there's a couple of things there, because it's the 2-day CBT assessment is commonly known as you go into Cardington. It's Cardington approved. It's Cardington accredited, whatever. But it's of course not that now, because the DVSA have sold the land of Cardington, but recently have introduced the 2-day assessment at Chadderton, which, quite fortunate for us, is just up the road. And we've already successfully sent people there and passed there. So the 2-day CBT assessment, which would be Sophie's next step, which would enable Sophie to then officially, legally, she could open up her own ATB, but she can also teach CBT instructors. So whereas Sophie, when she was going through her journey, might have shadowed Peter or Nick or whoever, but the only instructor that could pass on would have been Ashley. Yeah, because Ashley is approved a sort of 2-day assess. So the 2-day assessment, which is now currently in Chadderton, is the, if you like, the second step, isn't it? Doesn't mean you can do anything other than you can teach people really then to do the CBT. And then what's the next stage then, Graham?
So once we've got that, again, it's another trip to Chadderton now. And that's a half-a-day assessment with the DVSA on your direct access, your DAS, which when you do complete that assessment, you can then teach all your DAS pupils on A1, A2 and DAS as well, A licenses. So this is where you come fully qualified with a direct access badge for you to teach further training.
Yeah. So
okay.
Once you've completed the 2-day CBT assessment, you can then attend the half-a-day direct access assessment. There are talks of it going into one CBT and DAS altogether, but that's only sort of talks. And it's really so that you can teach people on bigger bikes, isn't it? So you can teach your A2 on the 400s, and you can teach the A on the 650s. But a CBT instructor could actually teach an A1, couldn't they?
They could, yeah, because it's only a 125.
Yeah, on a 125. But there's
I
not
didn't know
many of
that.
those anyway. And then once you've got the direct access, the DAS qualification, you could then go on, I suppose, and do well. As far as the DVSA are concerned, that's pretty much it, because you can do the ERS, the Enhanced Rider Scheme, separate to being a CBT or a DAS instructor, but you could do that on a full license and just have an advanced qualification. You could be delivering ERS. And ERS is the Enhanced Rider Scheme, but for the RJH instructor training workshops, it's down trained CBT, 2-day direct access. So that's the qualification process, which might be new for some people that are watching. It might not be. So let's just pause there for a minute, see what's in the chat room. Let's catch up on what's
Can I
in.
just say hello to Dave Smith?
Yeah.
He's calling me sir now, so thanks a lot, Dave. And Hayder's there again.
There you go.
How do I become an advanced tutor? I'm talking about ROSPA. So I can tell you, yeah, you can become as long as you've got a full license, you can become an advanced tutor. But you need to go through the process. To become an advanced tutor, you must have gold pass on ROSPA Advance. You must be able to gain a gold pass qualification, and then we can take you. We can if you want, or advanced tutor. ROSPA can actually put you forward to somebody in your area.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's advanced is something that really we should do another live stream on that, Graham. You should do a live stream on that, because it's quite a lot involved with that, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's your next level after you do the direct access. You know, your advanced. It's not about. I mean, a lot of people. You there?
What happened?
Oh, went off.
Yeah, mine went off.
Everything went off.
And then I couldn't start it. I had to end it, and then I had a notification came up. Do you want to resume it? Which was interesting. I've never had that before.
I came out of it and then tried rejoining it, and then I even tried it on the phone as well.
Yeah. So apologies, everybody. I mean, one thing that I maybe need to be aware of is because it's bringing you in and Sophie, and it's taken up a lot more. I mean, I'm not technically, but it's put more pressure on the connection. So anyway, we're back. So where were we?
We're here.
Yeah,
we're here now.
What were we discussing when it froze? It would advance, wasn't it? So we mentioned about
doing a separate
how to get
video
the advance.
Doing a separate tutor. One. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay then, good. So let's get started again. I do apologise everybody for that little technical hiccup, but we are back. Been on an hour and a half.
An hour and a half?
No, I've got one. Oh,
Half
sorry, no.
Half an hour.
30 minutes. Right. So let's start with you then, Graham.
Yeah.
How did you come across RJH?
Well, believe it or not, I actually walked in looking for a bike in Philip Ewell's in Manchester.
Right.
And I came across a flyer, which I picked up, and just rang the number. And here I am now. And we still deal with Philip Ewell's in Manchester.
Yeah. So you phoned up, and who did you speak to?
Speak to Lisa, and just made the enquiries, and it was just a case of come straight in, First of all, just like CBT, and then just straight on a big bike. Just got my full license. I've been riding odd bikes since I was young, and I didn't even take it into any account because I was always into my cars. And I just took to the bike. I had Rob as my instructor all the way through, and that's where I went. And then I just kept in touch and carried on doing what I wanted to do.
I mean, back then you didn't have Google reviews or anything like that, did you? It wasn't sort of a question of, it was just, well, yeah, go into the dealership, speak to people, and take it from there. Okay, good. What about Sophie then? So how did you sort of come across getting in touch with us? How did that all happen?
Is she gone?
Oh, you've muted. You've muted yourself. You need to unmute. No, you're muted. It's got on your screen, you've muted yourself. No, you've muted yourself. What does she need to do, Graham?
She needs to
she's on
press
her
the
phone.
unmute.
Oh, she gone out. She's going to come back in.
Hello. Is that working?
Better.
Yeah? All good?
There we are.
If in doubt, turn it off and on again. Yeah.
If in that, or give it a smack on the top.
Yeah. So the question was, how did I find you? Yes. Good old Google.
Google.
And obviously, I always go to J&S, so Northwich is closest to me, so I've already seen you before, and yeah, your reviews were the best, the most reviews, highest ratings, and it's pretty obvious that you're top of the game. And you've got the website page all about becoming an instructor. And then Charlie, the fact that Charlie rings you nice and quick and good communication. Yeah.
Good.
Makes it all possible.
Good stuff. So it's interesting because obviously I didn't train with RJH because RJH wasn't about when I wanted to be an instructor. Had RJH been about when I wanted to be an instructor, I would have got in touch with Robert himself. You know, the master, I would have phoned him up and said, I want to be taught by you, but I couldn't. So I stumbled across a company in Shrewsbury, and how I came across them was through the MCN. And I was just reading the paper on my coffee break in my previous life. A nice cup of coffee with a Snickers bar. I used to have the two together and reading the paper. MCN, oh, do you want to be an instructor? And that's how I started. I got in touch by phone with this company. And they said, oh, we'll send you some stuff in the post. So I had to wait a week or 10 days for this stuff to come through. And then you have to read it all because computers were only for the really advanced technical people, and I wasn't into computers. So and that's how I did it. And I sort of, yeah, that's how I came across it. There wasn't recommendation, wasn't speaking to anybody. It was by reading the MCN. Okay, so the next question then is, how did you find the booking and the selecting the right course? Because I know when people want to become an instructor, it's quite a minefield, isn't it? It's a minefield if you want to get your bike license, but if you want to become an instructor, it's quite a lot involved, isn't there? So let's have Sophie with that one first. How did you find booking and selecting the course for you? How did you find all that process?
So you do the 3 different courses, don't you? You do basically the one that makes you a down-trained instructor, a fully qualified CBT instructor, or a DAS instructor.
Yeah.
Sylvia wanted me to go for the biggie. I wanted to go for the biggie, but my tax advisor told me don't yet, because you don't get the tax off until after you start making money from it.
Okay.
So that's how I chose.
Yeah. Yeah, because we, as a company, we offer different levels. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum. And ultimately, platinum is what we all want. But the beauty of the bronze, silver, gold is that you can go up in stages. And so you're sort of earning, and so you're not paying out all that money up front. So I think you went for the silver. Did you go for the gold? You might have gone for the gold.
The middle one.
The middle one.
Went for the middle one.
Silver.
Yeah.
Might have been silver. Anyway, so yeah. And what about understanding the sort of different qualifications and everything? Had you done some homework before you got in touch with us, or had you?
No, I learned everything from you guys.
You sort of came in quite. Yeah. Okay, good. So what about yourself, Graham?
Well, there was no bronze, silver, or gold at the time.
No.
It was just a case of, it was an instructor course. It was a 10-day course, and that's what I went for. I enrolled on that one, and yeah, so it was just the one course at the time. But since we've done all these instructor courses, we decided, I think, was it this year that we decided, last year?
Yeah, over the years we've sort of learned. You came in and did 10 days back to back. That's what we did back then, successfully, but there wasn't any shadowing opportunities.
Nope.
There wasn't any the support and everything was there, but the bronze, silver and gold has only been when we first went into lockdown. We sort of thought about how we could, because of the feedback from previous, if you recall, it's a lot of money, and we were, if anything, we were turning people away because they didn't, because of the initial investment. Well, it's £2,000, take it or leave it. Well, if you, on the grander scale of things, £2,000 isn't a lot of money to change your career and change your life. But for some people, it's for anybody, for me, but for a £2,000 up front it's a lot of money. And that's why we came with the different packages, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we introduced the different packages, 18 months ago, something like that. But I was one of the early ones, and we just went straight for it. Yeah.
One of the guinea pigs.
I wonder how many days of shadowing I did, Rob. It's a lot, isn't it?
A few. But you put in what you need to put in, and you put in what you want to put in, because that's up to you, isn't it? We can't. The offer is there, and so you take it, and if you put that effort in, look at the rewards then. And so, you know, you'll only develop further. It's paid for itself time and time again. The shadowing. But you've got to put that time in, and time for everybody. You know, one thing that we're short of is time. But you stuck at it, Sophie, which is an important thing. You stuck at it, and you've got the rewards.
Yep.
Okay, good. So then, question number 3. Or should we just have a look and see who's in the chat room? Oh, nobody's in the chat room. Well, there's no questions.
We've got 15 viewers. Come on, viewers. What are your questions?
Since we froze, there's nothing in the chat room. So is the chat room live?
Oh.
Can somebody ask a question in the chat room?
Going up then, viewers. Yeah, viewers.
Hey, anyway, I'm pleased to say, boys and girls, I've got a Google review from tonight already.
Can I get a Google review from tonight, please,
I'm sure,
guys?
Sophie, if you could get a few Google reviews if you wanted to.
Yep, I'd like 16 Google reviews, please.
Let's help you out, Sophie. Let's see the power of social media. This is for
go on Google, type in RJH motorcycle training. Oh. It can be Wigan, Eccles, Northwich, either of them, any of them.
How's that?
Sophie is awesome.
There you go, Sophie. You can see that.
No, I can't. I've
put a Google review sticker above your head. Review me. Because of see the power of social media. Sophie needs Google reviews. Sophie needs Google reviews. So the chat room is live, by the way, because we just had a few. Paul Anderson is on a course, isn't he? And welcome to the live stream, Paul. And yes, keep all of your receipts. Your investment into the course can go through your expenses, all of your fuel receipts. So what you need to do is get a good accountant, isn't it? He needs to get a good accountant. And that's who's left me a Google review. Stephen Clements, by the way, he passed with me in 2004 in Congleton. Stephen Clements. And he passed his CBT with me on a Honda CB500. Because he was on his own, and I thought, he can ride. Get on a 500. So he did it on a 500. And you've met Stephen Clements, Graham. He comes over. You remember him on the Triumph? And he had the big 4x4, not the Jeep thing. Nice lad, Stephen.
He could always do a review for me as well, couldn't he?
Yeah.
I met him. Dave Smith's another one.
Dave Smith left me a Google review as well last week, by the way.
Yeah, he left me one as well, so.
Did he?
On the same one. Well, thank you anyway.
Let's see how quickly, Sophie, it is that before somebody gives you a review.
Yeah.
Get a bit closer to the camera and, get them in. Come on, leave me a Google review.
It's very easy to...
They'll leave you a review. No trouble at all.
Here's my name. Make sure you mention it. This is how you spell it.
So then, question number 3 is, how did you find the workshop? And I'm going to ask myself that question first, because I'll explain.
What's the workshop, Rob? Is that the week?
Yeah, that you spent with me.
Ah, right, yeah.
So, 5 stars, Sophie. When I went to Shrewsbury, and I did a 10-day Monday to Friday. Came home at the weekend because in the price, because the days were long. And I lived in Congleton then, so it's an hour 15 minutes. But they put me in a B&B within the cost of my course. Well, excuse me language, but the B&B was a shithole, first of all, which isn't a good start, is it? Because if you're not comfortable, I mean, I had to sleep in this bed. I thought maybe some bloody dead horse had been sleeping in it. But it wasn't a good experience.
Were you sleeping next to your helmet, Rob?
Yes, I was.
That'll be the smell.
Now, Sophie, keep it sensible. I had a horrendous experience. Ultimately, I went to Cardington, as it was, because back then as well, they booked your Cardington for you. So you went down to do the course, and then you went and did Cardington quite quickly afterwards. And CBT, I went and failed miserably. And I just was out of my depth and just wasn't ready. So my experience of the workshop was that they didn't have my best interest at heart. They didn't really have any interest in me passing, and even though I didn't pass, they had zero support to help me pass the second time, because of course with this 2-day CBT assessment, if you fail the first attempt, you have a second attempt, and if you fail that, you're struck off for 12 months. Well, I sort of gave up my job, my career, because I was going through a bit of a midlife problems and stuff. And so I put everything into this pass, and I failed. So then that was a horrible experience. So the support wasn't there. So a poor workshop. No interest in me as an individual, just a number, and no aftercare support was my experience. And I think for me, then coming away and doing my own thing and starting, I could see how much better as a company we could be in delivering it. So that was my experience. So Graham?
Yeah, good experience, 10-day course. After the 10-day course, signed up for a downtrained badge, just like Sophie's done. First time I was going to go down, I wanted to go down there and pass, obviously, and I was at the first time I was going to go down, I then just pulled out because, first of all, it was Rob that said, I don't think you're ready. We'll just cancel it. Yeah, so that was okay. Second time, I felt I was ready, but then you said, maybe not. Yeah, again. And then on the third attempt, I finally went down, and it took me 18 months, quite honestly, before I went down, because I felt I was absolutely ready. Because it's not just this 2-day assessment, doing CBT, this, that, and the other, but there's a lot more things involved with it, especially like supervision and this, that, and the other. And you've got to make sure that it's all in there. You know what you're doing. And I went down there, and I came away with the first time pass, which I was really, really happy with.
Yeah.
And that is basically my journey, the start of my journey, and then became a DVSA approved CBT instructor.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so your experience was so much different to mine, and as you mentioned there a couple of times, no, don't go, you're not ready. Don't go, you're not ready. And of course, there's no cost involved with the 2-day assessment. And yeah, so great. So that's sort of that mentoring and that interest in getting you through was there. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, Sophie, how about you?
Okay, so I had a week with you, Rob, with three other training instructors.
There were
Was it?
four of you in total, wasn't there?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was a bit of the odd one out because they're all kind of your age, aren't they, Rob? Whereas I was. I didn't have a clue what you're talking about half the time.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sophie.
But yeah, there were four of us, and it was a bit daunting to start with. Basically, a lot of role play. So I wasn't used to role play, and yeah, so a lot of talking in front of people, but just threw myself in the deep end, and I just gained a lot of confidence over the week, and lots and lots of practice. I don't think the other guys liked me, did they, Rob? Because I was a bit of a writing my notes all the time. What do you remember?
I don't. I think everybody liked you, Sophie. What you brought was a breath of fresh air, and no, I keep saying it, but the next generation, it was fantastic for all of us oldies, if you like, the more mature lads. For a young girl to come in, it was for you. Hat off to you, because all credit to you, stuck at it, and you could have quite easily, as I've seen over the years, many guys, give it a day or two and they back out. It's too much.
The first 2 days are so intense and really, really. So I can't explain how much of a challenge they are. You're learning so much. You're putting yourself in a situation you've never been in, and you've got to have a lot of confidence to do it. And after the first 2 days, you could easily just opt out. But if you stick at it, it's so worth it. And yeah, I was exhausted after that week because I'd learnt so much. But you also have to supervise people. That's something you don't realise until you start.
Yep.
Is you're not just training, like role play at training you, as Robert, young Robert, who's a bit mischievous, but you're also watching the other trainee instructors and picking up on their faults. Hence my notes, lots of notes, and then you have to be very kind in the way that you give them their feedback, but be constructive and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the word intense isn't
enough, is it?
No, I mean, I do remember on going back 20 years ago on mine. It was all scrambled. I kept having to rewrite me notes, and it was I couldn't. And then eventually, things started to click into place. But
when Sylvia said, she kept saying it's going to be intense, it's going to be intense. I was like, yeah, I've done intense things, but only when you're doing it do you realise what that actually means.
And then you met.
And then
Then you met me. Then you met the young
Robert.
The young Robert that can be whoever. Good. Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And then after that, lots of shadowing. So 2-3 times a week for probably 8 weeks.
A couple of months, wasn't it?
Yeah. Watching, mostly getting involved actually. So again, in the deep end, you think that the course is over, but actually you're doing it with live trainees in front of an instructor that's that can give you feedback and jump in if they need to.
Yeah.
And then once you've done all of that, you need to then practice your radio work for being out on the road for the radios.
Yeah.
And then assessment by you, Rob, and then You get your down trained badge, and then assessment by the DVSA when they come to watch you for the day as well.
Yeah, it's when you explain it like that, it is an awful lot, isn't it? It's a big ask, and I think if you look at being a motorbike instructor, the hardest part of the job is being a CBT instructor. That's the
Yeah, a lot of
hardest.
upfront work, isn't there?
Upfront control. It's the hardest part of the job, which is why it's the most important part of the job. And if it isn't right, then further down the line, the DAS instructors have got to, got to deal with it. But yeah, so good. Okay, so intense is not enough if you described it.
No, I've been through officer training for the Royal Navy, and I'd say the bike instructing is more intense.
Well, yeah. Okay, good. Let's just pause there a minute. Let's have a look because there's a bit in here I just want to go into on. Oh, I've got another one of those funny people comment. I can get rid of them, I think. So Dave Smith has left you a Google review, Sophie.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
So he's left Graham one in Wigan, is it? He's left me one in Manchester. He's left Sophie one in Northwich. He spreads the love, does Dave?
Yeah.
Just banned one there, Levin Zachary, whoever that is.
You banned someone.
I banned somebody already, yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Hey, listen, I had to ban somebody 2 weeks ago. It was getting a bit silly because he's been following me for a little while, yeah. And he keep, telling me how attractive I am and how just getting a bit. It was getting a bit spooky. I was getting a bit spooked, so I banned him. Dan, this is one for you then, Graham. Dan O'Brien. Good evening, Dan. That's a new name to the channel. So, Dan, comment away. Good. We'll come to your question now. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hi, guys. I've been interested in becoming an instructor for a while. Is there many jobs in the Northwest for instructors? I am based in Preston.
Well done. Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for instructors. Get on our instructor course and we can put you in the right direction if you want to become an instructor. But yeah, it's well worth doing, coming on board and getting your qualification with us. But yeah, if you want to travel from Preston, we've got sites in Wigan and we've also got sites in Manchester. If you want to come down to Northwich, so 3 sites at the moment. And we will be doing another instructor course in the new year.
We've got it booked for the beginning of February, 2 weeks, 5 days, sorry, beginning of February.
So if you want, give Charlie a call and he can put you through and talk you through the instructor course. It's all on the website. It's how you want to go about it. But yeah, come and join us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we are looking at opening new schools. I know it's gone a bit quiet on that front at the minute, but it is the time of the year as well. The industry generally does go a bit quieter. So December, whilst it's been busy, our busiest on record, it is still relatively quiet. But get Christmas out of the way, the days will start opening up again, and the season will start before you know it. February, March starts picking up again. So we've got another, which we'll sort of put comments away on it down below at the end, but we've got another workshop at February to start looking at getting some newer instructors again in for next year. But yeah, Paul Anderson, who's on with us at the minute, he's done some shadowing. Bumped into Paul at the NEC actually as well. But Paul's put, it's tough, but an excellent experience and opportunity, in my opinion. And Paul's sort of at the start earlier sort of stage than you, Sophie. So he's not got his badge. He's gone through the course, but shadowing, you've got to put that shadowing in and put that time in, which you put in quite a quick period of time, because that was your goal. You mentioned 8 weeks, great. Whereas Paul's probably been doing it for 3 or 4 months. But you've got to put that time in to get that. Then you've got another comment there. Robbie has got, treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen, Rob. What is that a comment from? Dan O'Brien, great.
It's about who you shadow as well, and how often, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you only watch people like me who can't let you contribute, I don't think you're learning. I think unless you actually get involved doing the CBTs with a fully qualified CBT instructor, it's going to take you a lot longer.
Yeah. So we've also now got John. He's CBT assessed, so he's quite happy to help let shadow. But Peter's looking at his assessment in February. Have you sent that letter off, Sophie?
I've done it.
Brilliant. Well
and I've had an email back.
Yeah. Well, you'll get a date, so you can start working to that. You've got Nick. He's going to be in 6 months' time. It'll be completely different again. Paul's put, I've absolutely no teaching experience, but the shadowing really helps. I'm loving it. Keep at it, Paul. Yeah, keep at it is all I can say.
Just going on to Dan, Dan O'Brien. Great, thanks. Yeah, get in touch tomorrow. Charlie's in the office from 9 o'clock in the morning, and he can go through things with you. So yeah, it'd be great to have you signed up for February.
And we have a date for, I think it's the beginning of February. Have you got that message, Graham?
Yeah, it's possible to work on maybe weekends as a business. Please attention weekly. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean we have people at all different levels, and some people. We've got John who's got a full-time job. John is Monday to Friday he's a teacher, and then he's happy if he can do every Saturday and Sunday. If he can only do Saturday, or if he doesn't do any at all, he's happy. So we try and work around everybody's.
As a bartman, yeah, we can offer that. If you've been off the bike for 40 years, yeah, we can do a rusty rider course for you. It's not a problem. Get us in touch. Give us a call.
We've got Gaza Bartman thinking of getting a bike after a 40-year break. Would you offer retraining or lessons?
Of course we will.
We do offer them. And we'd certainly recommend them, wouldn't we? After 40 years, you'd want to get on a refresher. But
I've just had a guy at 25 years, and he just jumped straight on a bike at weekend, and it was fine. It was good.
40 years, though, is a long time. Bikes have changed in 40 years.
Yeah.
Some people could do with it after just a bit of a winter.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it after a holiday. After being away for a month, you feel a bit rusty. So yes, get in touch, Gaza Bartman. We can offer training pitched at where you are. AW8, good evening. Just popped in to give festival seasonal wishes to all. I suspect you may see a bit less of me on here going forward. Thanks all. How rude,
Don't go, AW8.
how rude, AW8. We are going to miss you.
Stay
So
with us.
yeah, don't go away and stay with us. Contribute to the live streams. Robbie, do you mind me asking how much you earn a day for CBT training? So a day could be any, depending on your qualification and how many pupils you train, because you'll get a different pay rate for 1, 2, 3, or 4 generally. If you're on a subcontract, certainly. So you could get anything from what I think we pay a pay scale probably of anything between £80 and £170. So that's depending on how what qualification you're at and how many pupils. Okay, good. Right, so one more question then. Number 4 is, how do you find the job of instructing? And that can go to then Graham.
I call it living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. Listen, if you've got a passion for motorbikes, you want to get people on 2 wheels safely, and you've got that passion, it's a breeze for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that for me, when I in my previous job, and then I did this job. When I started this job, I always say, as soon as I started, when I became a bike instructor, is when I stopped working. So when I started teaching people to ride motorbikes is when I stopped working. So that means I stopped working 20 years ago.
And you love the job.
That's it. And
that's why you look so young, Rob.
That's why I look so young, Sophie. Thank you very much. So
what about me? What about me?
I can't see you, Graham.
We can see.
Well, you did today.
I saw you today. Yeah, you were looking young today. I'm sure you're still looking the same.
Thank you.
I think so they say, don't they, if you can earn a living, or if you can doing something that you love doing, then you're not going to do a day's work in the rest of your life. But what I find about, I think for me instructing, so my instructing, so what I was doing 20 years ago, I'm not doing today. So I don't do as much instructing, but I'm doing other things in the business. But when I do instruct, you still get that same that buzz, because you're meeting different people, you meet different ages, different backgrounds, and that's for me, I think that's probably one of the strongest attractions, is the broad field of people that you meet. So I've had people that have come in that sweep the roads, or they unblock drains and stuff like that. And then I've had people that own islands in Dubai and this sort of thing, these multi-millionaires and stuff. So we get all sorts of that. For me, I think, is probably one of the strongest things, is the different type of background people that you meet, and we all get on with them all the same way, whether they sweep the roads or unblock the drains, or because they've all got this one
passion,
desire, isn't it, to learn to ride a bike, and we have got what they want. So that, I think, for me is anyway.
yeah, I mean, it's right what Rob said there. You know, you meet all these different professions and all, and you know, even celebrities come in. Yeah,
Celebrities.
so
You had to drop that
celebrities are
in there.
teaching celebrities now. So
Well, you might
yeah,
have
they've
seen
got
my photos, Sophie. I've got Michelle Keegan on one
I
arm,
have.
and I've got Cheryl Skeet on the other arm. They couldn't keep
Yep.
their hands off me. After
Yeah,
Graham,
so
after Graham, of course. And you've got a celebrity on now, haven't you?
yeah. I've got uh, I've got Charlie DeMello at the moment. Just had Sam Retford.
Sam, yeah. So you
Um,
do get loads of nice people. Loads of nice
yeah,
people.
see, and then you get in the professions. You know, doctors, nurses, police, firemen. There's all sorts coming through at the moment. So you know, we are getting that sort of different people coming through and CBTs. You know, these young kids, 16-year-olds, want to get on the motorbike, coming to us for the experience.
Yeah,
So and all different ages. So all different ages. I mean, when you think about it, Rob, 85-year-old John, 85, teaching to ride a motorbike. Yeah, he was fantastic. Great
yeah,
lad.
yeah. John. Yeah. And what about you, Soph? What do you find? How do you find the job of instructing? What do you?
extremely satisfying. Um, so very active, which I like, and it's a satisfying ache at the end of the day, knowing that you've helped someone. You know, with biking, it brings. It can just be fun. It can be it's adventure. It's freedom. It's for 16-year-olds, they've not been able to. They had to get a bus or walk, and all of a sudden, the world is their oyster. They can go wherever they want. I remember that first sense of freedom when I was that age, and then biking just brings so much fun and freedom to me. So I love sharing that with people
Yeah.
and being able to ride my bike all day. Well, not all the
Yeah,
day, but most of the day.
Most of the day. Yeah. Good. Okay. I think. Yeah. I think to truly um, to truly enjoy instructing is well, it doesn't get much better. I don't think it gets much better. And
no.
yeah, we can moan about the weather and a bit cold now and a bit wet now and so on, but generally speaking, it doesn't get a lot better, I don't think. Right, let's just go back into the chat room a minute. So, AW8 is mentioned, not rude, but I have passed, don't want to get in the way of the new riders, but he won't fully disappear. Yeah, great stuff, AW8. Don't want you to disappear because you've got a lot of experience that the new riders want. So, you've gone through the process, so you can contribute. Yeah, you can contribute. And he's mentioned about idiots on the road. And yeah, I've noticed, aren't the idiots out on the road at the minute?
They've no idea. They've
Christmas
no
shopping,
idea
is
of
it,
this.
or what?
Yeah,
Rushing around.
Rushing around. Lisa's joined the chat room. Good evening, Lisa. Um,
Hi, Lisa.
has somebody got a TV on in the background?
probably.
Not
You
me.
There's no
multitasking.
there's no football on. There's no football on. We're all right.
Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah. So, well, that's my questions done. Is there anything? Yes, that's been interesting anyway. And hope that anybody that's watching that or anybody that plays back that will maybe might just ignite a little bit of interest about what they can do after they've had the license. Because one thing I haven't mentioned is about the requirements. So you need to be, before you can even consider being an instructor, you need to be how old?
It's 3 years after you've passed, isn't it? So if you've got a 125 A1 license, 3 years after, can you, or does it have to be A2?
So you need to have had a full UK motorcycle license for 3 years, and that can be an A2 or an A, or both, because you can
So not
do your
A1,
A2.
A2 or A.
Yeah, and you need to be, so you need to have held your full motorcycle license for 3 years, and you need to be over 21. Yeah, so you need to be over 21. And you can actually also hold a Northern Ireland license. Yeah, so you could have a Northern Ireland license. All right. But we don't tend to get many. I think Graham and myself met a young lad who was 21, wasn't he, Graham? Do you remember?
Yeah. Robin.
Yeah, and that, but we don't tend to attract, in the 20s, boys or girls. Sorry, apart from Sophie. Sophie's an exception because you're
Only just.
but the lower end of the 20s tend to be.
Yeah.
So we tend to attract, over the years, the sort of in the 40s, isn't it? 40s and 50s. So it is nice to see Sophie and Nick.
Yeah, Nick's only young, isn't he?
Nick's
How old's Nick?
34, I think. So that's encouraging.
Got a lot of years behind, ready for him, in front of him anyway, hasn't he?
Well, he's got more ready for him in front of him than what I have.
And myself.
So what I've done is, on the website we've opened up the dates for the next workshop, which is in February, and so that's gone onto the website today. So anybody that's been watching that's thinking of it can have a look at that. Dan O'Brien's asking another question there, Graham.
Is there going to be any changes to the courses in the near future? I passed 10 years ago when it was just CBT and DAS. Well, you've been riding for 10 years, so qualified to become an instructor. Got a full license there.
It is different though, isn't it? It's the Mod 1 and Mod 2. I think I had the same sort of test as Dan, where I just did it all in one hit, something like that. It is a long time ago, I can't really remember, but yeah.
Is Dan talking about full license courses, or is he talking about instructor training?
Well, he was talking about instructor training before.
I thought he was talking about, is it different to his test, but maybe not.
Is there going to be any changes to the courses in the near future? I passed 10 years ago when it was just CBT and DAS. So
now, I know what he's probably saying there is, are they going to scrap the Mod 1, Mod 2? There was talks. Well, there's always talks.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Because we're out of Brexit. We've so who knows? But I support the Module 1 and Module 2 myself. I think when you get people going through, the riders are better than what they used to be. So
Yeah.
So I would say possibly. Who knows? Gaza Bartman, another question about getting back into biking after 40 years. Is my 1979 full license still valid without a CBT?
Yeah.
If it's a full motorcycle license. Oh, look at that little beanie. Look at little Bean. He's a good boy. Oh, it's a girl anyway, not a boy. So Dan is saying yes. So yeah. So does that answer your question, Dan? Talk of it, but it's not gonna. It's going to be around for now, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're pretty much done, aren't we?
No questions? Have we done all the questions?
Think so. It's been a good one, and quite a lot in the chat room. I think we're pretty much done. And yeah, first live stream
live
with
the
the three
dream?
of us. So first one, and
Yeah.
so thank you very much, both of you, for putting your time in.
Can I just say thank you as well to all the people that's been in the chat room? I mean, it's nice meeting other people, listening to other comments, and it's great being on here. And first of all, thank you for inviting me again this week. It's been a good topic on instructor training, and I look forward to seeing any new people coming through. My name's Graham. I am the centre manager in Manchester, and I'm very proud of it. And to you all on the chat room, a very Merry Christmas and all the best for the new year. And hopefully, I'll probably see a few of you in the new year, especially Dan O'Brien, on this instructor course. But it'd be nice to see everybody anyway. Yeah. So well done and thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Graham, for that. Yeah, it's it's all very new for us, the live stream, and it's not for everybody. So not everybody sort of comes forward to contribute. So much appreciated from me, and going forward, it will be more of a weekly event, the live stream, and the live streams will be inviting you guys. You know, you can always come along and contribute, because nobody wants to see my ugly face on here all night anyway on my own. So I have a bit of a backup, you know what I mean? So when I have a bit of backup, I can. So it's
it's been a nice surprise this week. You're coming out of retirement.
Yeah, I know. It's been a bit of a shock.
A couple of good test runs as well.
Listen, I set the pace. All these passes, I've come in, double whammy passes, I've set the pace.
And we've had to prove it today then. We've had to prove it again today.
Anyway, Robbie is saying Graham's after another Google review.
You carry on. Yeah,
that's how he does it.
That's how, Sophie, you've got to
seen him in action.
Watch and learn, Sophie. Watch and learn.
I can't listen, Sophie. I cannot believe you've been down to that Birmingham NEC for 10 days, and you should have had that many reviews. I was shocked that you never got any.
I didn't even think of that.
Sophie, you've got to be creative. You've got to come outside the box. Think outside the box.
Sophie, just forward planning.
Observations and forward planning.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on. It was fun chatting to you all. And I recommend doing the course if you're into biking. It really is living the dream.
Yeah, and you've got there Sophie, who's just starting out, and Graham, who's got 10 years. So, yeah, it speaks for itself. So, yeah, good. Okay, then. Right, so finally, So thanks very much. I'll be doing another live stream, I think probably Christmas Eve, for those of you that have got nothing better to do than tune in. So I'll be doing a solo, wishing everybody a and thanks for the for the YouTube viewing over the 12 months and stuff. I'll do one on Christmas Eve, but that'll be it then.
I'll see all them. Will I see all them reviews going up for you then?
Yeah, well, I get I can get a few more in, but I'm on the leaderboard now. I think I'm. Have you seen the leaderboard? I think I'm right.
I'm above you now.
I think
I'm above you now.
Sorry?
I'm above you now.
What, when you were with that one you had 8? One person did 8 reviews. Anyway, we'll see. So I'll do one on Christmas Eve, but it'll be a little one anyway. But yeah, but I do appreciate your time, ladies and gents, and must say a big thank you to that little furry thing in the background, Bean, who's been absolutely good as gold.
Yeah. She just nearly bit me in the face when she said that.
If little Bean needs a new home, then I'm first in the queue. All right.
You might be able to borrow, but I don't think
borrow.
She'll need that.
Yeah, borrow. So anyway, well done, Sophie. Well done, Graham. Thanks for your time. Yeah, and
Thank you.
I will see you both very soon. Okay.
All right.
See
thanks
you soon.
a lot.
Merry
See
Christmas,
you soon.
everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.